messages. Sweet. Alright, just starting the live stream, so started about 15 minutes early today. So, got a lot to talk about on the upcoming streams and upcoming channels. I got a new coming out soon. Whew. It has been a long day, indeed. It's getting nice and cool now. Welcome to tonight's live stream. We're just getting started, so probably gonna wait until we get a couple more people. I normally like to myself a little bit, I guess, just to create some content for the shorts. So, cheers to you, whoever's watching. Let me make sure I can see the chats, because sometimes the chats don't pop up. Hey, got some people. Put the helmet on, please. I don't want to. It's hot in that thing. Hold on, give me a second. I know you don't want to see this ugly mug. I'm just kidding. Alright. Actually, let me keep my glasses on so I can actually see what's going on. How y'all tonight in this fine afternoon? Fine Monday night? Well, you know what? I'll have to do this so I can see y'all. That's why I don't wear I can't wear my glasses in combat. So maybe I can do this. There we go. That a little better with the helmet. Oh, that is the hardest part. The helmet has to be pretty secure to your face. Otherwise, if it's loose at all, this thing will bust your nose open or your face. So that's why I like the this visor. It was a nightmare poking my fingers through this, cut my fingers up to try to get the strap on. So we actually have a war coming up in Georgia. So I'm gonna have some more content. More combat content for you guys. There hasn't been many practices. Usually towards the end of the year, everyone's kind of winding down. I don't know if there's a practice this Sunday, and last time I was out of practice, I lost the combat footage for y'all, so I do apologize. I do have some of the footage. I'm sure you guys saw in the shorts. And as of today, I'm down to 283 when I weighed myself. How's it going, J Morant? Jamorant 8197. Welcome to the live stream. Thank y'all for showing up for sure. But yeah, I'm down to 287 as of today, so I'm losing weight again, so that's good. I think I was building muscle mass. I gotta take these off. It is hot in this house today, but yeah, I think I was building muscle mass, a lot of muscle mass, because I was plateauing at like 290 for the longest time, and it was insane. My calorie intake some more, because I noticed going from the 380s to 300, 320s, down the 200s, it seems to be a lot slower weight loss for sure. So, and currently I'm working on my cardio, so I think I get that up. I think my strength's pretty good. The last practice I had some pretty good exchanges back and forth with the other nights out there. What's wrong? Oh, my Wi-Fi. Let me see if I'm connected to the Wi-Fi. Hold up. I think I was on mobile. Thank you for letting me know. I can't tell. Like, is that better? We do. I would say it's more sport than reenactment, kind of like Boo Hurt, but they don't do historical reenactments per se, like you would see with the Civil War reenactors. We actually go and hit each other with rattan weaponry. So it's a solid wood core rattan weapon, and we actually hit each other. So it's you're going for first strike, basically, either on the head or torso. That's hard enough to get through and make a point to that person. So and if they don't acknowledge the blow, it just means hit them harder. So, yo, what's up, Cheesy Too Soggy? WTF? Okay. What up? Hey, a lot of people in the live stream tonight. Thank you. I think it's the biggest startup. Bro is drippy. It's hot. Our AC went out. It's about 80 degrees in our room currently. So yeah, it's a little hot. Thank you. Yeah, put a lot of effort into the Crusader persona for the SCA. We do hard suit combat, so we use rattan weaponry. So this is a solid rattan bamboo. We actually beat the crap out of each other. Think. Yeah, I made it I made it all myself. So like this, made it myself. This I bought. The gambeson I bought as well. But that's what they would have wore. They would have gambeson as the padding underneath armor plating. And let's see, I actually got a chest plate. I'll put that on. Alright, it's mostly on. I'm not going to scrap it on. Don't want to be able to get out of this thing tonight. South Africa, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a 14th century Crusader chest plate. It's a 14th century cuirass. So I actually built this myself. Used the oil drum. So in South Africa, that'd be very interesting to see what they do out there. Is it the SCA or you guys do Boo Hurt? I wonder. So. Yeah, it's not hard if you follow a template and you just kind of like you map out what you're wanting to do, have a vision in your head, and just kind of just execute on that. So little by little, you chip away at it. I've done this, the arms and the legs for it. I don't have them in here right now. They're currently out in my vehicle. So yeah, thank you. Oh, absolutely. It is pretty cool. It's also very hot in this thing, especially when I go full suit. It gets extremely hot in here, but That's why I practicing this every day. But here lately, been kind of working a lot more. So yeah, that's still pretty cool. There's guys that are SCA combat field that they just go with bare minimums, elbows, knees, and like kidney protection. They're basically naked. These gloves, the gauntlets, yeah, they're extremely comfortable. So they actually have, let's see, they actually have padded gloves in here. So this is actually extremely comfortable. And I've used it so much, I'm basically like feels like my hand when I'm actually in combat. So it's pretty awesome. So these are heavy gauge, I think 16 gauge steel is what these are. So it's mild steel. So it'll bend out there. Like that's one of the rattan weapons. They got me in the wrist right there with a great sword. They got hit with a great sword, and then over here I got hit by another weapon over there. So that stuff bends steel. So you definitely want to wear armor when you're doing SCA heavy armor combat. A lot of people don't wear it for a reason. So we have practice every Sunday, and then, or usually every Sunday, unless they're doing events. So I'm fighting at least every Sunday or every other Sunday. So at least once or twice a month. And then the wars that we go to are, it depends on where you're wanting to go, how much money you have, and expenses. They usually have a war once a month. I love trolls. Thank you for the comment. I love it. Yeah. So I'm gonna be going to Castle Wars over in here in Atlanta. Not Atlanta. It's past Atlanta. It's in Covington, Georgia, in the next couple of weeks. So I should get some pretty cool combat footage for y'all if you guys stick around for that. I'll show you the weapon I actually use. So this thing is called Bec de Corbin, right? Hammer, beak, and that's what I primarily fight with. So, well, that's what my channel's for. I can when I post the videos, you guys can see all that content. In fact, if you go to my channel, you can see all that content from about a year ago. I started posting all this content for sure. So how they prevent concussions is there's a lot of safety rules in the SCA. So one of them is the helmet has to be made of 14 gauge steel usually. You can go minimum 16 gauge, but not advisable. So you're going to be wearing helmets like this. Let me see. Thank you. So you're going to be wearing helmets like this, and this is heavy gauge steel. Oh yeah. And in here there's like shock foam. So athletic shock foam, and that stays on your head. So if you were to get hit, it absorbs a lot of that concussive force. So you just gotta be also safe. You gotta think of it like you would a boxing match. So you're protecting yourself at all times. Yeah. I wish I could say I made this, but it was another guy in the SCA who made this. What I made or helped make was this hinge part right here. So this hinge right here took us about 2 days to forge that, get correct properly. So you can see there, and the straps here buckle down and hold into place. So that chin strap keeps this front plate from going into my nose. I have no fear of that hitting me in the face. So this will protect my face from any weapons that come. Let me see if I can get my rattan sword. Just so you guys can kind of hear what this is kind of like, right? So I'll bop myself lightly, right? So that's going to protect your face and your noggin from concussive forces, right? So if I were to hit myself without that, I'd probably be on the ground. Ooh, And I can't see without my glasses, so let me see what you guys said. Katana. Well, normally armor will protect from all that stuff. So, slashing weaponry, I mean, have you ever tried to cut steel before? They usually use, like, what is it? Shears to cut through steel, so. Now, you could probably puncture it, because it is 18 gauge steel, so how to defeat armor is usually, like, puncturing weapons. So if you ever look at old medieval weaponry, they have a lot of spikes and a lot of concussive weapons. Hence that Bec de Corbin, right? So, like, this ain't a real one, this is a sport one, obviously. So, they'd have this beak here. This would be a sharpened, like, basically beak to go right through armor. This would be a spike up here, and then the mallet. So, and normally they'd have teeth in the corners here to catch onto the plates. So, all armor does is mitigate chances of knocking you out in combat, or disabling you, or killing you. Acting? I'm not acting. Particularly in a sport, okay, like a hard suit combat sport. So, my arms, I have plate armor. If you look at my videos, I actually do have full armored plates on the arms as well. So, like in anything, any combat, you're gonna be trading off mobility for protection. So, no armor is impervious to anything. Interesting. Why are we talking about baby oil? Are you guys worried about AI content? Is that what it is? Because a lot of people post weird things. No, so, sure, child, I guess. I mean, if you pay the bills, right, and you take care of your family, feed them, I don't know if that's childish at all. And then you have hobbies that you enjoy, like some guys are into cars, some guys are into boats, some guys are into snowboarding, and some people find that ridiculous. So I'm more into heavy suit armored combat. So Medieval Total War 2. I didn't play that one. I played the first one, and I liked the Britons. I played mainly Rome Total War 2, Shogun 2. Let's see what else I played. I played all the Warhammer Total War games. Yeah, Chivalry 2 is pretty cool. No. Haters don't bother me. I kind of like them. They add content to the channel. So, but I like to address if someone says something like, you can kind of like address what they're saying. So no politics on here. Probably Richard the Lionheart. Yeah, I'm a Templar. Late 14th century Templar, or the Order of Christ, I think what they called them, because the Templars went bye-bye in the early 1300s. So the Order of Christ was basically a rebranding by the Portuguese to keep their Templar organization alive, and apparently they still exist today as an honorary guard of Portugal. I'll have to look more into that, but I thought it was pretty interesting. That would be cool, King Baldwin. I like Baldwin. Do you fight other civilizations? So in the SCA, it's Society of Creative Anachronism. You'll see people from the Spanish Empire. You see people from the Aztecs. Any period before the 17th century, you'll see out there. I'm sorry to hear that. So the Templars were initially created to protect pilgrims along the road to Jerusalem, to protect their goods and wares, from my understanding. And they're the first international organization. Yes, I do like Spartans. I'm actually I'm going to be participating next year in a Spartan race. Just get more. So I'm gearing up and getting in shape for that race right over there. There is actually, yeah, Holy Grail. You know, the Monty Python joke runs really rampant in SCA for obvious reasons. Everyone's doing the Black Knight bit and everything. Something like that. I'm not a pure historian, so I only know like tidbits of the Crusade. So I'm more into the sport, the attire, that I like, the Christian theme, because I'm a Christian, so it made sense when I went in the SCA to go full bore, right? No, I had cancer and I lost all my facial hair, and I felt improper. I don't know how to describe it. So this is a well-earned grow back. No razor for this man. I know some things. I'm not a pure historian. Footwear. So the footwear, you want to wear boots. A lot of people wear medieval boots. Hold up. Guys are coming real fast at me. Yeah. It was cell B lymphoma. No, I'm not living with mom. My mom died like 8 years ago to cancer, so she's not with us. I'm not living in anyone's basement per se. But yeah, F cancer. So that's this whole name of the channel is. So my last demon to slay pretty much is weight loss. So one from 390 starting when I started this channel, and down to 283 as of today. So well, I was a software engineer for about 12 years. Actually, if you look at my YouTube channel, you'll see my stuff from college till now. I was a game developer, but I kind of got out of that industry, and it's I'm self-employed. So I primarily sell precious metals, and I DoorDash. So DoorDash pays the immediate bills, and then I'm working on this YouTube channel to eventually bring in another revenue stream for my business. So this is both both having fun and a business venture for me, just to, like, if I'm going to be doing like a hobby, it needs to bring in some kind of money or something for my family, instead of me just, because I feel like a dink if I'm doing something and it's not helping the family. Where did I get the medals? So the medals, this is from oil drum that my friend had. And then another plate I had was from we had an old Dish Network dish outside that they replaced it, and I checked the steel, 16 gauge steel. College, kind of. I don't regret going to college for sure. Well, so eventually I'll make it clap. So all this stuff right now is just the first suit. I don't want to invest too heavily in making it pretty until I'm actually good at what I do. Super good at what I do. So this is just my weight loss suit, basically. Eventually this will be retired and a new suit will be in its place. Yeah. Thank you, Frank Black. Close, 36. In fact, if you watch one of my shorts, I actually mentioned my age. Think means double income. No, I have a kid. Double income, no kids. Gas. Why do you make the hammer? So when I first joined the SCA, I actually did sword and board, and I have my shield there. That's what they call it, sword and board. And I wanted to do something different. That was back in 07 to 09. So I wanted to do something that was a little more that had a high skill ceiling, right? So that's kind of what I got into the pole arm, because there's a lot more. It's a lot more. It's not as intuitive as sword and board, which is a little more easier to get into for a first timer. And since I was already participating, I decided I wanted to try something more skill heavy. Do you make armor for people that want to get into what you do? I'm actually going to be making suits for our local group. I actually have a link, usually in my channel, for our local group in the Shire of Glenree. I'm making a suit right now for my buddy, so I do make armor. I'm not mass producing right now. Yes, people have gotten hurt. I haven't. Well, the worst I've gotten hurt was, I think, I had my ribs. It felt like it got cracked, like because on the back of these shields is a is this right here, right? So someone charged into me, and this went into my upper sternum, right? And back then I had plastic armor, no protection on the top, so it went right into my upper chest. So that stuff hurt. Yeah. So the shield, this shield I made myself. So I actually thought about making shields and posting these bad boys for sale because I see a lot of people don't have a lot of shield blanks. So yeah, it was pretty painful at the time. Got over it. Yeah. Hey, how's it going there, KJ? I'm trying to keep with all your guys' chats, so I'm still very new to this amount of live stream all at once. So I'm sure in the future I'll be probably doing the slow-mo in the future. But so if I haven't caught your message, yeah, there are great swords. I do not have a great sword. The sword I'm making now, I'll show you. It's not finished yet because I still have to do the cross hilt and the pommel on it. So this is it's called the sword and a half. So I can use it one-handed or two-handed. So, and it's beefy enough to do some serious damage. Speaking of great swords, let's see, how does your partner join in the raids? How do they join in the raids? So they just come out to practice. A handguard instead of the shield. They do have smaller shields, so if you wanted to get a small buckler, you can. You could definitely do that. Or if I was crazy enough, I could use my gauntlet right here, right? Because this is not a legal target. Like if I get hit in the hand, it doesn't count. So I could, if I wanted to, I could use this as protection. How do you win a war? So it's kind of like paintball. If you ever played paintball, like you get hit. Right, you acknowledge your blow, you walk back to respawn, and you get back on the field. So usually how battles are won, they'll set up different objectives, like break through and capture the stronghold. Like the last war I was at, Castle Wars, the defenders had no respawns. They can never, if they died, they're out. But the attackers had infinite respawns. So, and then it was timed based. So based on your time, best out of 3, that side would have won. And they usually put, when you go to wars, they put tape, colored tape on each one's helmet, so you kind of know who's who. Oh yeah, check out I think it's SCA.org. You can check out the local SCA group, or Empire of Medieval Pursuits is another group, or Boohurt if you had the means to do that. That's live steal, a little more dangerous. So I don't want to die, so I don't do live steal. Thank you. Crafted it myself. So if they're not a fair sport, all that tells you, hit them harder. But there are martials out there, kind of like live steel means it is blunt weapons. Like if you were to sharpen it, it would be an actual sword. But they go out with blunted weapons. But they only can chop. So if you ever watch Boohurt, you'll only see them chopping. They can never thrust, because if they were the thrust, they'd kill someone. Martials are wearing nothing. Usually the martials just have like very colorful tabards to indicate, and they have giant sticks. Colored sticks that are usually like caution tape colored, like black and yellow. You'll see them out there. Thank you. But anyways, yes, plenty. The people that have been there 20 years. Like there's a guy, if you watch some of my videos, Auk, he wears red. He's a Roman. I do not like going up against him because he's quick as lightning, right? Super quick. So yes, there's plenty of people. Idris is another one. He's pretty terrifying because they're just like, it's not like a video game, right? You can't really sometimes catch up to these people. They're just always going to kick your butt usually. Are people getting super jacked? It depends on what kind of physique you're going for. So Idris, I consider him what you quote jacked. There are others who don't do it as much, so they're more like my build currently, a little bit on the bigger side, but Nice. So it depends on what kind of physique you're going for. Thank you. I like the chainmail too. That's why, I'm going to get more of it. My armor is actually getting light on me, just because I'm building muscle mass. So I got to get more chainmail. I got to get a halberd and leggings. No, I'm good. Thank you, though, for... So like I said, it's a one-hit kill type thing. So it depends, right? They call it, what do they call it? What's the word they freaking use? Adjustments or whatever. But they'll adjust to what you're doing. So if I take a hit that I didn't call, that just tells them hit harder until I call something. So it's like a pain compliance type of thing. So yeah, there's a couple of guys that are buff. Idris is pretty buff. I'd say he's pretty ripped. The armor, though, when you put the armor on, everyone looks pretty bulky. Like, what's the world's strongest guy? He put on armor, and he looked like a big, pudgy guy. I can't remember his name. It's not really a reenactment, and it's not really a LARP. It's more of a sport, but some people do LARP. So, well, it's going to be extremely hard to break bones, but it happens, and no one's intentionally trying to hurt one another. So, like any sport, people will make judgment calls based on what you're doing, and they'll talk to you usually. But they see that you're purposely trying to injure people, they'll pull your card. I love the internet. I knew, man. So that's pretty funny. It's amazing to me. 30 years later, right, on the internet, and there's still like online trolls. I just love that. It's great. I've been there, been a troll, trying to get a reaction out of people for sure. Is there any other questions for sure? Oh yeah, I love trolls. You got, God bless them. So, you've been around them all your life, you can't understand what's going on. So. Yeah, so you understand wearing armor, like in the military, you just look bulkier, like, big fat dude. Yeah, I mean, it's protection, not that it look good. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Cheese Tusagi. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, the best thing about trolls, right? So, is the sense of, I guess, being free, or you're kind of like probing to see what kind of person what kind of emotional, what's the word? You're probing to see what kind of person they are, right? So you can actually gauge a person based on just a few things. Are they like hypersensitive to words on a screen or whatever? So, because I always found if you can control someone's emotions, you can control them. So, I've used trolling in the past to just gauge how a person actually is and how they treat supposed enemies. So I have nothing wrong with trolls overall, per se. Goodness. Watch out for that guy. He has a foreign username. Uh-oh. Well, I mean, aren't you guys all from outside the U.S.? I had no idea who I'm talking to, except what's on the screen. For all I know, you guys can be from Russia. All Russian bots trying to kill me. Russian spies. But no, on guard, yeah, on guard. Sound. So another thing I do in my the SCA things, I combine faith in what I do. So and that kind of helps me set myself up for success because you're subscribing to more, I guess, a higher state of being, I should say, because you'll never be perfect, but you're always trying to achieve perfection. So. Yes, people do use bows. They actually have siege equipment out there, so you'll see ballistas, catapults, trebuchets. So I have currently, it is an SCA legal sword in the works. I gotta get the pommel and the not the basket hilt, but the cross guard in this. And I primarily use, currently it's called a Vector Corbin. So it is a 6 foot long pole arm. So it has that point. Let me get over here. It has a called a butt spike. So these are basically pads taped up, so you can hit them as hard as you want. So you make it a point that, hey, you are dead, kind sir. So I'm going to see how hard they hit. Let me find my other gauntlet. So my other gauntlet is a good example of how hard we actually do hit. Magic spells? No. Steven, they're big tuna. Yes. So that's basically a baseball bat, solid rattan. This could break bones, break teeth. They leave a lot of bruises even through the armor. So the answer is yes. There is a guy with a giant battle axe on the field. So this is kind of the damage this stuff can do. So without the armor, just imagine that your forearm, right? So that's from a greatsword that impacted my. So I went to go block with my poleaxe, and I caught that right there. And then the last, I think it was 2 practices ago, I got hit by a glaive right over here. So this stuff is strong enough to bend 16 gauge mild steel. That gives you insight how strong it is. They don't need to be historically accurate. They just need to meet SCA legal requirements. So it depends on your level of like this right here. If I were just put a strap on so it doesn't leave my hand, right? This is a perfectly legal weapon. People won't like it though because it's not creative enough. Yes. Well, the last war I was at, the War of the Phoenix, guy. It was during one of the big push engagements. He got thrown into the wall or something like that. And he must have got hit pretty hard. He was knocked out. They had an ambulance pull him out on a stretcher. And then another guy, he's bleeding out the mouth because he got hit pretty hard. But that's very rare. We had like 300 combatants on the field at that time, so that's super, super rare. And then the Castle Wars last year, I was in a pushing match engagement with the opposition, and the dude cracked a rib. So that should kind of tell you, like any sport, like football, right? So football, you're going to get injured too. So it's about as dangerous as football. Yeah, so this is, yeah, it says Drinking Tinker. I got a Castle Wars last year, so. Injuries myself, years ago when I got hit in the nuts. That's unpleasant. You definitely want to wear a cup. Let me tell you guys, wear a cup. Don't go on the field without one, because people are not aiming for it, but it does happen. Yeah. So one of the SCA melee engagements, I was second line, so I shouldn't have had anything happen to me. But on the opposition, there was 4 spear women, or whatever they were, a bunch of girls with spears, and they stabbed through the front line and got me in the nuts. All like three spears to the nuts. I was like, that was unpleasant. Channing Tatum, only because he's the Gambit, right? I love Kingdom of Heaven. So this is 14th century Crusader plate. It's a template I took. So I built this all myself. I want to thank you all. I want to thank you all who showed up to the live stream. So it definitely helps this channel as we grow, and I look forward to making more content and kind of sharing what I do in the future. I'm going to be trying to do more live streams of, like, you know, my exercise regimens and combat routines when I get, you know, some more time. I'm not King Baldwin. I'm just a humble man at arms. So. And I'll bring up my helmet if you guys haven't seen that. And there actually is a rank of knight in the SCA. You actually have to go through, like, basically like the whole process like you would back in the day. Like, so you had to be squired for many years and then attain that rank. So I would be considered a man at arms. So this is my helmet. 14 gauge steel top, 16 gauge steel side. And I don't know what the gauge of the steel is on the front. I know it's thick and heavy. So this right here is about 20 pounds. The entire suit of armor that I wear is about 65 pounds of armor, something like that when I'm on the field. So, and the thing I learned about armor, if you watch one of my videos when I did hiking, is the armor doesn't allow you to breathe. So this armor actually restricts airflow, and like, so you're doing a lot of heat management when you march. So the next time I do one of these again, I gotta make sure I bring lots of water, because I lost like 15 pounds or whatever. It was a lot of water weight lost in one sitting, because I went from, I think it was 295 at the time. I dropped all the way to 280, some crazy number. Like, holy crap! It's just. 1 meter rip. Now it was about a 4 mile hike I did. We went 2 miles in. I was supposed to do 6 miles, but we ran out of time, so we actually turned it around. So we went about 4 miles in that hike total up there in Montesano. So I was pretty dead towards the end of that. Right, my entire body was shaking at the end, and it took every ounce of strength to get through that event. So I look forward to doing the next one when we get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys want to subscribe, get us to 1,000 so we can see that video. Fantastic. I have not seen Dante's Inferno. I know of the book, and I know of the man. We talked about the 7 layers of hell. So yeah, it's an excellent workout. That's why I did heavy armor. Most people said, yo, you should do lighter armor. I was like, well, no. My mission is to lose weight, so I want as much weight on me as possible while still functional. That is a Crusader flag. So I actually use that. We'll be using the next video I make as well. I'll bring that in the March. So should be a lot more fun. So the helmet cost. So to give you an example, these gauntlets here, because I'm a junior or a newbie at making armor, so I bought these. These are about $325. After tax, it was like $360-ish. But this is worth every single penny, because this protects my hand from being crushed. The helmet was $350. You can find cheaper, but I suggest if you're going to get into the sport, invest in a good helm, because so something like this, like brand new, I actually looked at the price of this. This was like $700 brand new. I got it for $350 from the guy. So if you want to get in this kind of sport, invest in the helmet first, but know what you're getting. So you want to get in contact with the SCA local group you're in, or SCA.org. They'll try and tell you how many shillings for this outfit total. It's just, most of the money is just in the helmets and the gauntlets. So that was $350. The armor, the chest plate and such, $10 free. It was made of oil barrel steel that I got. So the guy was very nice. I know the guy was very nice. I got off Facebook Marketplace, and he's in the SCA group. So you'll find a lot of people in the SCA willing to do trades. It's the things they want to get rid of. because you know space is a premium sometimes, especially if you live in an apartment or whatever your situation may be. So some people will be willing to offload helmets at pretty cheap prices. If you want to look around, you can check that stuff out. Find some good deals on helms for sure. But yeah, the chest plate, if you're to get a good chest plate and not make it yourself, because you know you're still paying for this in time, so the time investment to make this entire chest plate was probably around 40 hours all in all. How to use a grinder and then bend the steel, and then you know, get the templates printed out, apply that to the steel itself. So chest plate's gonna run you. Probably pick up a nice body plate for $100 to $200. Or if you want to go really cheap, you can get what they call pickle barrel armor. And you take a jigsaw and you cut out plastic barrel armor. That's how I started, was plastic barrel armor. So over the chest. Yeah, I still, if you look at, yeah, I made this myself as well, hand painted it and everything. See that, and I actually sprayed it enamel white, and then I hand painted everything. So I wanted a nice base white color, and then go from there. Virgin, not virgin. Oh God, where? So I have both metal and plastic. I prefer the plastic. It is riveted mail, yes. So this is all riveted because I don't want the butted mail. The butted mail will fall apart. My buddies have butted mail. That stuff falls apart. Negro. Thanks. No, this is all steel. All steel. All this is steel. Heavy armor. In fact, there's probably some rust back. I'll have to show you guys later. But this is all steel plate. I'll probably do that in one of the videos. I'm still working on my sword, so like I need to get the cross guard finish for this and the pommel, and then this thing can be good to go. But I can still use this in the SCA legally. It just doesn't. It just looks like I'm holding a stick. Yeah, I mean, even though I am holding a stick, but no, this is a Crusader flag, medieval Crusader. When I watch a tree grow. I'll watch a tree grow. They have YouTube video. Rest here, young soldier. Yeah, thank you. My goodness, I see why people do the slow chat. Like, I've been trying to keep up. I'm a pretty fast reader, so hey, how's it going? I was sure about to report you, chubby. Okay. I don't know what that means. Oh, I mean, so modern body armor is going to be superior to this mild steel 18 gauge steel armor. So, Kaiden Bustler. Hey, a rack. That's pretty awesome. I do play D&D. I actually host a 40K series. I'll have to send you guys. I'll have to post that link. I think somewhere. I'll have to post the link when we do that. It is very heavy. So the helmet is 20 pounds. The rest of the kit, all of the kit and combined, is about 65 pounds of armor. So it is heavy. Sure. Let's hear a riddle. Getting ready for the apocalypse too. Yeah, it's about 65 pounds of gear. So that's why you got to train in it. So when you see those training videos of mine and I'm gassed, that's because it's heavy as heck. So it is. So when you do sports like this, you want to at least get fit and then train in the armor. But I'm training and getting fit at the same time because I want the suit and me to feel as one. Potato chips and McDonald's. I don't eat potato chips. or not anymore, I should say. So on the weight loss journey here, I was stuck to a very strict keto diet. So I try to adhere to a 1200 a day calorie limit. I was doing the keto diet, but in the SCA, I was noticed I was getting extremely gassed. So I switched to a little bit more carbs right before practice, and that helped a lot of issues right before. Well, I'm an American. I'm wearing the armor, but yeah. I mean, little by little, you get fit, right? So my journey is to slay the last demon. I already defeated cancer years ago. Heck, my mom didn't survive, and then the other demon she couldn't fight was her weight. So now I'm continuing on her legacy, I guess, and trying to defeat that foe. It's one of the toughest foes in my life. I've been overweight since, God, since 12. 12, yeah. I do play GTA once in a while. Are you in Jerusalem now when we attack Damascus? So yeah, I played all the GTAs from 1 to 5, and I'll probably be super fit and like doing like calisthenics before GTA 6 hits, I imagine, at this rate. How would you defeat a 10-year-old? I don't know what that is. In battle. I have no idea. I hope I wouldn't be put in that situation to begin with. I'm pretty out of shape, so I'd probably die. Saladin? Yeah. Faith and repentance, I'm sure. Yeah, yeah, I repent every day. At least I try to, though. So, because no one's perfect, and I sin, everyone else sins, so I try to repent for all my ways, and I'm doing so right now. My redemption arc of gaining all this weight. So, started at 390, I'm down to 283 as of today. So, I got about another 100 pounds to go before I hit my goal weight. LeBron, the basketball player. I don't watch sports. I mean, I've heard of him, if that's what you're asking. I've never played Roblox. I've seen it. I know a developer for one of the game modules. That's about as far as I know about Roblox. I mean, I think LeBron didn't he die? LeBron James died in a helicopter crash? Or am I thinking someone else? Well, whatever. Ron's on the game. TYTYR JJ. I don't know. Are you guys worried that they're like I'm AI? I know some of Jerusalem, not a whole lot. I'm sad to say. I know that there's crusades in the Holy Land over Jerusalem. That's the holy city. I know there's the Temple on the Mound, and I kind of want to visit it at some point and learn more about it for sure. Clear AI sign. No. So AI, can you do this? I don't think so, right? So also AIs have a hard time with hands, right? So it's always like potato hand or some other weird nonsense. No AI here. What is in my hands? My shield. Let's see. I got this hand right here. And if you guys like the content, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe for sure. So this protects me from heavy rattan weapons. Here, now I'll show you. I have an example of that. So I fight in a sport called the SCA. They do heavy armored combat. So they're hitting each other with basically this style of weapon. So this is heavy rattan weaponry. So protect from concussive force. So we're hitting at full strength with these things. So that's kind of what it protects from. So this is about a 6 foot long weapon. They actually get longer. So most people have a 7.5 foot long weapon. So I'm always at a disadvantage. If you're watching those videos, I'm always at a disadvantage because they're using more spear-like weapons. I'm using more of a poleaxe, which is more close range weapon. So I'm trying to close the distance and get on them. Or I can hit from afar, but not as far as they can. Crusader flag. What would you use for a zombie apocalypse? Probably a machete. I have a machete over there, but because bullets would be limited. I want to thank y'all for that joining me in this live stream. We're probably going to go for another 20 minutes and then end it there. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask for sure. Katana. People do use daggers. In fact, I'm going to be adding a dagger to my kit because I've been in a lot of situations where a dagger would have been advantageous because I would be pinning the opponent to a wall or whatever, but I can't actually hit him because my hands are on the weapons. So a dagger right here will be able to get him. So most people do that combination of dagger and secondary weapon. So daggers are useful as a sidearm, especially if you drop your weapon in the field and the opposition takes it, you're going to want to have something. Rusty dagger. There are samurais out there. Pinning the opponent to the wall. Yeah, so the castle, not the castle war, there's, what was it? It was the War of the Phoenix. We were doing a defend the castle scenario. The enemy could attack from any side, and there was about 6 entry points into this basically hay bale castle. So on my left flank, because I was protecting the rear flank and the left flank from enemy forces coming in. So the guys on the left punched through our line, and I charged in on top of them, and I had him up here, right? It's because my weapon, I'm locking him up, right? So I'm locking him up. Now he can't hit me, but guess what? I can't hit him either. So we're basically making kissy faces at each other. So I actually pinned an enemy to the wall. But I guess if you're taking that the connotation of something dirty, go for it. It's a free country. That's how it feels. No, it's a joke. I'll get some more water. It'd be cool to see one of the videos. So it is hard to get video content because either batteries aren't enough or I can't get weapons on the field. I actually have a GoPro. I just gotta be able to find a way to put some. Thank you. I have to find a way to keep the camera rolling through that because last time all my footage was ruined because the battery died or I had fogging in the lenses. Yeah, Crusader. So, fill all the armor myself, except for the chainmail. Safe word is hold. So they'll call out hold and scream it, and everyone stops what they're doing, and that's to prevent people from getting further injured. So, yeah, thank you. It is. I actually got the template. 14th century is a 14th century template. It is a 14th century cuirass. I'll have to put a link in the description to that template if you guys are wanting to make that. There actually are. I'll have to find the website again, but there's a website. It gives you all the templates for different time periods. And I went 14th century. So 14th century, you're going to see bigger plates, a lot of chainmail, and the helmet I got there. So all my stuff is period. The SCA doesn't go strict period, so they do use halberds. I got hit by one. They are not pleasant. Yes, you have to work out. So I'm working out every week and doing a lot of running every day. Do you have all the term FARB in your corner of living history? What's FARB? I don't know. No. I have not gone to Pinzik yet. I want to go to Pinzik War. I know you're asking me if I'm that. I am not. When did I become Crusader? It would be, if you watch the channel, it would have been when I first rejoined the SCA, and that was in 2023, so about a year ago. About a year ago, I went full Crusader plate. I haven't looked back since. I just love everything and look there. Yeah, I would imagine they would cut a lot of corners. So, because you're just trying to get on the field or you're on a farm, you're just trying to get out there and put on whatever you have possible. So, I'm wearing this during combat or if I'm training. So, if I'm training for the day, it's going to be on the entire day or until I get gassed and have to take it off. Because there'll be a certain point where it's restricting your airflow. You can't breathe. And it's just too hot, so you take it off. And other SCA people tell you that stuff gets pretty hot pretty quick, especially the helmet if you keep those on. So the helmets we keep on for maybe about 10 minutes, 30 minutes, hour or more, depending on what you're doing. Nice. There are people that do the kneeling to a king and whatnot, the whole LARPing thing. As I told my other compatriots, I don't do the LARPing per se. I partake a little bit, just like to hang out, but it's just not like I'm more into the sport. Go shower. That's not very medievally accurate. No, it's real. So this is riveted mail. So this is steel. It's mild steel. So it's all riveted mail. So there's nothing Fox about it. So this is. I wish I could show it a little bit closer. Can you see that? Yeah. It is heavy initially, but when you get used to it, it gets pretty comfortable. Freedom! Yeah, I'll have to. If you look at my hiking video, I didn't do the full kit. I just did this kit, basically this and the chest plate. I didn't go with my arms or legs. I want my helm as well, and that about took zapped every bit of strength I had to do that. So the next video I want to do for you guys when I go to the next hiking is to fully challenge myself and go full kit. So once we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're going to go full kit, march that same trail. I'm going to try to do the whole 6 miles this time, get the entire trail, but I got to go early in the morning. I learned a lot that day, like planning a little more in ahead, especially during the winter seasons, because the nighttime comes a lot faster. So is it still done by like? Yes, they do have blacksmiths. So there's a combination of modern equipment when you do armor making. So I've used a grinder on this to get a lot of the shapes, but there is people that do the historic route full through and through. I'm not one of those people. I have a garage, so I'm limited on all that space. But there are blacksmiths. There actually is a dedicated craft in the SCA. Just do blacksmith work, and that's all you do. Yeah, I'm still working on carrying heavy sandbags. So I probably eventually at some point could. Well, thank you all for this lively chat. I do appreciate all the back and forth. So we do have events. So it's a worldwide organization. They have events usually every month, every week. The SCA is pretty large. I think there's a group in Japan, Australia, Europe, and then all across the United States. I don't know all the kings off the top of my head, but there's a bunch of groups. So the events I'm going to, there was actually a tournament, I want to say this Saturday at Crown Enlisted tournament. So they do tournaments to select the rulers of that region based on the tournament. So it's trial by combat to get into those roles, position of power. So that was Crown List, and then the next upcoming event is called Castle Wars. I did that last year. If you look at my videos from a year ago, you'll see some combat footage from that period. This year, I'm gonna try and get some more footage for you guys at Castle Wars. I'm doing a day trip out there. That's over in Atlanta. So yes, they do a bunch of wars, and then I got War of the Phoenix in February. That's all the way in Arizona, about 2,000 miles away from where I live. And then Gulf Wars. And then next year they have Pinzik, which is the largest SCA war there is. About 10,000 or so people there, about a couple thousand combatants on each side. Pretty huge stuff. They do have archery, so they'll have lines of archers firing arrows at one another. So that's a different area I'm not too familiar with. I know that it's a 35-pound draw limit or 45-pound. They limit it so you're not actually killing one another. So I face off against archers. They're not fun, especially getting killed by them. R.A. Sourier. R.A. Sourier? I don't know what that means. But, oh, have I done archery? Long time ago in high school. I've done archery. I have not done archery. I'm sorry. I haven't done archery recently, but I should get into it at some point. I kind of want to get into crossbows because I want to make a crossbow for this kit because you know they have a little more poundage behind them and they can do more damage. Like because they have there's something about them you can use higher poundage. So that's kind of what I want to get into is the crossbow area. So, but archery where I'm at, there isn't much people doing archery, but there are archers at the wars. And there's even horse archery. I've seen that. I haven't participated. Yeah. So, okay, you must be SCA then. 35-pound. They're maybe I've heard of them. I know there's javelins for sure. I actually had a javelin thrown at me. So, and the guy just had a big little case of javelins. He was a Greek hoplite with throwing javelins. So the answer would be yes, you can have thrown axes. They're built a certain way as to not injure people. But I imagine it's just rattan like everything else. Because those spears were just basically rattan spears. So yes, there are Viking axe throwers. But most people don't do that because you know ammunition is limited and you can't go hold up, let me grab my stang and then throw it at you some more. I got a not an axe, but the javelin was thrown at me. A javelin didn't do anything. I deflected it and he didn't do it again. Korean? No. We got about 18 minutes left in the live stream. Or no, 12. Let's say 12 minutes. I'm going to end this at... Actually, I'll end it at hour 30 minutes. So we got another 22 minutes then. If you guys have any questions about Hardsuit Combat or faith journey in general. So a lot of what I do is faith-based combat. So this helps out a lot in my workouts for sure. Helps with keeping my focus in combat because I'm striving to better myself and please the Lord at the same time. So and I get to spread kind of that word, that message around. So I kind of enjoy all of it. I have no idea if they would do that. I think they are as intelligent as we are. They just have different levels of technology, so I would imagine they wouldn't be so naive as to shake a baby. Hopefully that answers that very peculiar question. I'm gonna have fun once we get like 1,000 plus subscribers or 10,000 plus subscribers. So. Yeah, so yeah, mainly my enemy currently is my weight. So I'm focusing on that and drawing people closer to the Lord. That's what this whole channel is: drawing people closer to the Lord and to lose weight and to self-improve themselves. But I'm gonna start. You gotta start with yourself first. So what do they say? The airline thing. You gotta help yourself first before you help others. Hence the channel, right? Is that the funniest thing I ever read? Let's see. If it's on fire, it's a witch. I'm sure a lot of people did a lot of crazy things back in the day, I imagine. I put everything on and go in the field. Actually, if you look at my channel, I created a cart to wheel things to the field. Well, my truck's currently down, so I've been just putting armor on and walking to the field. I don't know. I don't listen to music that much. I'd heard of the band, or whatever you call them. Yeah, it's like a little medieval. It's a medieval handcart wagon. I gotta actually go and redo some, or not redo, but make new wheel sets for it. Because if you look at the wheels I made in the video, they're very, because I used the handsaw to cut it out because I was trying to do no modern equipment on the build. So I did nothing but hand saws. So I got a lot of jaggediness to it. So next build, I'm definitely gonna just do power tools and use proper techniques to make the circle, to make it round. But it's very period, I should say. Yeah, I like that. Change yourself and you change the world for sure. So you gotta walk the walk, right? Can I put the enemies? I don't know. I haven't tested with that much weight. I tested with about 150 pounds. I would be hesitant to ride in. It's a hand cart, so it's a pretty small cart. I modeled it after or not modeled it, but the dimensions are the same as a big plastic tote that you get at Walmart. So it's supposed to go battle. Capture? Depends on the scenario. I have not participated in the capture. I know siege equipment, they can be captured, and the crew goes with it, because they have to willingly give up the siege equipment to whoever's using it, because there's a lot of money involved in the siege equipment, so they may not want other people using their siege equipment. So they may go, they're dead, but they're gonna use the equipment and fire on their buddies, I guess. So that explains kind of how that works. Interesting. And thank y'all for hanging out for so long. I appreciate it. Yeah, mini trebuchet. Yeah, that's kind of the whole point. So I try not to. Growing up, I hated the fire and brimstone people that you're going to hell if you don't do that or this or whatever. Like they didn't try to show the light of the Lord to me or anyone around me, and it was kind of off-putting when I was younger. So I kind of avoided churches for the longest time, though I was Christian in my younger youth. Just because I always kind of believed and I saw firsthand that working through my life. So I just kind of off-put by church for the longest time. So I try to find my own way, if that makes sense. But I now go to church now on a regular. So, and it's definitely helped in my life. I've seen great improvements. Yeah, and I'm also trying to fight the brain rot that's on YouTube. You'll see that a lot there, like doom scrolling and other things, and people not thinking at all, or watching just, I wouldn't say smutty stuff, but just like I look at it and I wonder, like, man, we're going to be a very doomed species in 50 years if this is the content they're consuming. So I'm just trying to put out content that kind of forces people to think, even though it doesn't make sense when I do the little angles and whatnot. I'm more mocking some modern shorts. Yeah. Sorry to hear that. So Satan is extremely real, so he'll work through people. We all sin, so whatever you are in life, that's for you and the Lord to work through. So yeah, He's helped me through my darkest times, and I'm just trying to be there through even these trying times for sure. So I'll definitely pray for you, Lepope, that maybe your family bonds will heal and they'll. I'm sure that's very difficult. I've never been put in that position. Eventually, yeah, if you want to be saved, right? 'Cause you have free will. So if you wish to be saved, sure, yeah. Yeah, you make a concerted effort every day. Because it's a kind of like a two-way relationship with the Lord. So if you want to be saved and you genuinely want to be saved, you make a concerted effort towards that goal, He'll help you along the way for sure. It's kind of like keep an eye on the prize type of goal. So if that's something you want to get around, because I have a lot of things I have to get around myself, getting angry so easily, right? Just being a thief, I guess. That's I mean, not a thief, but you know what I'm saying. We all have done things we regret in life, so yeah, exactly. I do my best to emulate him as best as humanly possible, and I always ask, where did he go? He went to where the sinners are at, where he's trying to save them. He's not trying to save the righteous, he's trying to save the sinner, right? So he's the tax collectors, the all those people that had downtrodden, right? Trying to help them. So yes, I think we're all plagued by it, and it's kind of hard, like, because it's if you ever look back on internet history, it was like a slow decline to all this, because a lot of people offset their thinking off to Google, right? Because what do people tell you all the time? Just Google it. Might as well tell you no thinking involved. Just Google it. Okay, that doesn't help me. So I think our society is in a great decline when we got off from legacy book reading, and so it's going to be a very interesting century how we learn and absorb information. We used to have deep thinking about what we read, right? So deep thinking about stuff like this. Like, did you read whatever book? Let's see. Like, I have this old book over here, right? So world record from I think 1972. Let me go look it up. 1970, something like that. So I'll have to look through this and see how that's changed over time. So our society's definitely changed. I think in the last 10 years I've noticed. So it's just a very interesting time we're in. And I'm just trying to kind of bring people back to more of the traditional ways of thinking about the world, right? So, deep thought and having conversations with one another without getting offended or whatever they're doing, right? So no. My computer is currently down. Let's see. So that's not possible. Like, the power supply exploded on it, so not possible. Right. Right. Yeah, I've heard that saying. There's nothing new under the sun. Like, if you look at modern warfare, what are they doing now? They're doing trench warfare, right? So, and then also even the aerial combat stuff, it's kind of emulating World War One because it's such new technology. They're using planes to shoot. It's just very fascinating to see history repeat itself. So got about 10 minutes left in the live stream. You guys have any questions? For sure, I definitely appreciate the conversations. So Eve was tempted by the devil. So we all have free will. I can't undo the past. She did what she did, and it's one of those things. The Lord loves you so much. You are now been given knowledge you weren't supposed to be given, and He's not going to take that from you. So, but you can't stay there either. So He's probably made a difficult decision during that time frame. So you can't stay in this paradise or garden because you corrupted now. So that's probably, there's probably a lot going on that we're unaware of, because a book can only tell you so much, right? You won't have the full context of everything that happened. Like in a movie, right? You've ever read a book and then watched the movie, and how the movie is missing a lot of stuff from the book? I'm sure books are the same way with reality. A book is missing a lot of context, what actually happened. It only gives you the snippets and the highlights of what happened, the most important parts usually. So yeah, be interesting. Yeah, I'd love to see that paradise. So I think, and then Adam was, well, I mean, they both had what's the word? Their eyes open to knowledge that wasn't privy to them. So I imagine he had to act, and he can't just take the knowledge away from them, because they're free willed. So he had to do something, I guess. So I wasn't there, so I can't say for certain. I can go by what the Bible says. Yeah. Why would I scream that? Well, I mean, so the God is omnipresent. So He already knew the situation in its full context. He just wanted to see what their decision making would have been when confronted with the truth. And but He had to. I mean, there is consequences to actions, to everything you do, right? So there's a consequence. If I don't work, I don't eat. So if I don't work tomorrow or the next day or the next 2-3 weeks, guess what? I will not have money to eat. So there's consequences to action. You have free will to do whatever you want, but there's always going to be you sow, or you reap what you sow, is what the saying is, I believe. So yeah, that's fine. They boost the algorithm, so I don't mind trolls. But at some point, I gotta have moderators to keep things in check, make sure there's no spam or scammy people, because I know that apparently that happens. So I've got to be mindful in the future. Well, I mean, it matters not whose fault it is. That was before our time. Like, you can't change the past. So yeah, karma, good way of exempling. And how's it going, Parker? I'm gonna go about 7 minutes in live stream. We'll be ending it. And I want to say God bless you all that came, and I'm glad you're all here, and you guys were all here for a reason. And thank you for the sub, and I hope we reach 1,000 subscribers. We're pushing the Holy Army to 1,000 subscribers, and then I gotta focus on getting the entire channel monetized at some point, just to keep the lights on, I guess, so to speak. But that's not my main primary focus. It's spreading the word of God first. And He'll reward faithful works. And even if I don't get rewarded, that's fine. I still have the SCA, and I enjoy it, and I love recording. So I'm slaying dragons for Jesus and for my mom. So like my mom, she wasn't able to win her battle with weight loss. She lost her battle to cancer, and I defeated the first dragon, cancer, 3 years ago now. I just gotta slay the last dragon that she was never able to slay, and that was weight loss. So my heaviest, I was 390. I'm down to 283 as of today, and I got another 100 pounds to go. So I gotta keep slaying, keep fighting, keep pushing. So Adam Sandler, yeah, I do like his movies. I do like his cartoons he makes too. Yeah, yeah, that song, yeah, yeah. I'll see you again. Yeah, I think of that one. I also think of my friend as well. He was a Catholic, I guess, and yeah, he was too young. I wish he was still around. He would enjoy all this stuff, right? He was around the first time I was in the SCA, so it was kind of fun to have him around for that. So you're gonna make me cry on live stream. Don't do that. No politics. If you voted, that's great. I'm going to say I voted, and whoever I voted for, may God bless wherever they're at now, right? So, but I will say whoever the president is, well, we know who it is, or going to be, may God give him strength to lead the country. Like it's the same thing when Biden was elected. May God give him the strength to run this country to where it needs to be. So. I'm not a liberal. I just don't like politics. So I don't like politics, and what I do. So I try to, like in the SCA, like I'll meet liberals and I'll meet conservatives, and I'm a Christian. If that tells you anything, I'm not trying to kill half my user base by making a political stance on this channel. I'm going to make a stance for God, for Christ. As far as American politics are concerned, that should be between you and God as well. So whoever you voted for, that's who you voted for. So not a liberal. I'll tell you that with a fiery passion. Not a liberal. Yeah, it's kind of hard to hide that stuff a little bit. But I don't subscribe to conservative, liberal. I don't subscribe to those the political binary that we have. I'm an American, is what I should say. I hate the two-party system, honestly. Bigfoot? Do I believe in Bigfoot? Well, there's what was it? Gigantopithecus was a actual historical creature of some sort. So I imagine if there was an ape-like creature, it's kind of like with the gorilla. If you look at the history of the gorilla, people thought the same thing of the gorilla, that it was like Bigfoot, mythological, didn't exist, and then it was discovered, and they're like, oh, there is a monkey thing. So perhaps like we discovered a whale a couple years back, like new whale species in the ocean. So who knows? It'd be naive to think we know everything. I mean, it's a very rare species, probably. The monkey man. But I'd be terrified of something like that. Like, chimpanzees are crazy. Have you ever seen those things? I like that. He's always ghosting you. But I will say this about Bigfoot. There is an economy around Bigfoot, and there's a monster truck. So I believe in the monster truck Bigfoot for sure. I can see it with my own eyes. So the imagery of Bigfoot is very Americana. So that I appreciate for sure. Hey, if he does, great. I would imagine something like that is very possible. I always leave it up in the realm of possibility. Alien space knights. So the universe is vast, extremely vast. So our Lord is a very creative individual and created the cosmos. So I imagine somewhere in the distant galaxy there is some sort of knight-like figure in armor. Because if you look at American history, we actually had native knights that wore wood armor up in Alaska, I believe. I was like, I'll have to look more into that. I just saw just a brief video documentary about it. Like that's interesting. And I'm gonna have to look more into that because that sounds interesting as heck. Alex is. I don't know who Alex is. David's Cross. It's a Crusader Cross of some sort. I found a template and used it on my armor. but an alien night would be interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna say a God bless night as well, and thank you all. I'm gonna be ending the live stream. Actually, yeah, it's 1:30, an hour and 30 minutes. I just get caught up with you guys. You guys are very interesting, and so yeah, you guys have a good night. And I thank you for the blessed live stream, and I hope to see more of you guys in future live streams. And I hope you guys got your subs. So and I can't wait to make the next content for you guys: the 1,000 subscriber thank you video and the Castle Wars video, and then the tent series that's coming up. So it's gonna be a very interesting month. So thank you very much. You guys have a blessed night.